No,
Hello, people.
even though the countdown clock is going, can still hear us. Can't see us, but they can hear us.
Maybe we should all do the countdown.
What, from 10?
If you like. Yep. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It goes too fast.
Go.
Hello, world.
And good morning, Chris. Good morning and welcome. It's 10 a.m. in the UK and it's time for Blabbing for Britain, episode 252. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Mr. Tracy.
Okay. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Right. Your sound is good, John. Right. Okay. I'll say good morning to Chris and right. Okay. What's happening? Anything?
Well, the orange monster hasn't given up, has he?
22% of Americans believe that the election isn't over until it's over. Well, they still believe that the result is
Over
in the
to
balance.
the fat lady sings.
Right. Can you say that again, Peter? Because you sounds just gone
wonk.
I was going to say wonky.
What's happened to Chris? Hold on. Hold on.
You're very quiet, Peter, which is most unusual for you.
This is true. Peter's using
1, 2, 1, 2. How's that?
That's a lot better. You turned the volume up or
No, I didn't do anything. I just went down to the settings again. Right, okay, yeah. It's not over to the fat lady sings, as they used to say. Now, I know that you guys don't watch things that I watch. I can see what's happening. I'm affidavits. I've seen a guy with 2F. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you, yeah.
I watched a guy sit down, 2 FBI agents come in and said, what you're saying about this, a postal worker who's been suspended without pay, can we look at your statement? Now, we're going to try and help you with your statement. And they're saying, now, it would be better if you put this. And then at the end of it, he says, well, by the way, I've recorded all this. And they were absolutely sick. He said, well,
is this the same postal worker that retracted his story?
Yes. No, you've been fed into where they said it was retracted and it's not, because the 2 federal agents that sat with him, and I'll give you the link to go and listen. The federal agents that sat with him tried to coerce him and say, we don't like the word interrogation used. Could you change it this? And he actually comes out and he says, oh, by the way, I've recorded all this. Go and look at that. It's asking the people, listening to what they've retracted it. Guys, do yourself a favour. Sometimes jump off that wall and say, what are they saying here about it? They've got the tape of them saying, when he says to them, I've got all this recorded. 2 men, FBI agents, trying to turn them, and it's all on tape. Suggest you go and have a listen, folks. I really do.
I went near BitChute yesterday and I regret it totally. I'm not going back there ever again. No matter how much you try and entice me, Peter, I'm not going back there.
What a rumble.
I'm trying to put this because we do have American viewers.
I hope they like my
There are
views.
2 elections, according to Mr. Trump. The one that played on the day where people voted on the day, and the one where people sent in postal votes, and that's the illegal part of it. And he won on the day, therefore he should win overall. The only thing is that because of the pandemic, over 100 million people did mail-in voting, which is logical because they didn't want to go out. They didn't want to go to a polling station. They voted in advance. He told his people to vote on the day. He won on the day, Peter. I'm not going to argue that. But he has lost the election.
What about Al Gore?
No, that was one state. That was one state. We're talking about every single state.
Yes,
in the USA.
And I'll tell you what, I've got to say, right? I've got to tell you this. If I was President Trump, from day one they try to get him. I say, hey, listen, you made my life hard. I am not conceding till every state, one by one, has went to court. And if it's all sort of, then I'll concede. But you can wait, like you've made me go through purgatory for 4 years. I
think sanity will return on December 12th, because that's when it's all going to be declared. It's a very arcane system that's used, but sanity will return on the 12th. John, you got any thoughts at all about this?
Roll on January the 20th. Because then we can forget all about it, because whoever's president will be inaugurated. So till then, I don't give a monkeys.
Yeah.
But remember, it does affect the world, whoever goes in as president. Affect you.
Well, the thing we've learned over the last 4 years is that there are checks and balances in place which effectively stop any president from doing anything which is against humanity. In other words, he can't overstep the mark because there are checks and balances in place to prevent that happening. He won't
be able to, will he? Because he's going to be a president that will get nothing done because he's going to lose the Senate.
Again, that's not decided until next year. Oh dear.
Get rid of that Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I wish I hadn't said anything about the orange monster now.
No, here's the other thing. Hey, Britain, we'll be at the back of the queue. We'll be at the back of the queue, said Obama. And Joe will do the same. You're back at the queue. So Australia, Russia, Japan, get in off us quick.
Why should we be at the front of the queue?
I didn't say to be at the front, but they more or less said you'll be at the back of the queue. Well, thank you very much. We'll go elsewhere. Don't come running to us when we don't buy from you. Bye. We'll just buy elsewhere. Don't help us with your wars. We are not getting more troops anymore. No, we're keeping our troops here.
What percentage of our exports go to the States?
Very little.
What is it? How many?
20%.
It's not big in the scheme of things, is it? Yeah. Can I just say to the people that do export to them, don't put your eggs in one basket, folks. Big mistake in business.
No, most of our exports go to the EU, Peter.
Yeah.
We don't put our eggs in one basket.
I'm buying a new van. It's Peugeot. There you go. I don't care. I'm buying a Peugeot van. It's not
British. Can't buy a British van, can you?
Still,
very difficult.
It could have been a German van, but I choose a Peugeot.
Yeah.
Right, I'll let John take over.
Statista says it's 15.7% of our exports go to the US.
Right. So, given the range,
it was still more than I thought. But anyway.
Yeah.
The thing is, a lot of those are Range Rovers, and they're going to go from Czechoslovakia or even China soon.
Can I just mention, since we're on about vehicles, I'm going to wait to put in for this vehicle today. Do you know you can hardly get a second-hand van? The prices have went up in price. And do you know why in Britain? Do you know why?
Nope.
They're all being bought by Amazon-type drivers and delivery drivers who've had to start up on their own. So the price of a second-hand van is just about as high as a new one. And that's why I'm going for a new one, because I'll also get the warranty. It's not much difference in price. Right, okay, I'm calming down. Where's my blood pressure monitor?
It's... dear. We have the ability as a people to actually convince ourselves black is white when it suits us, but all will be revealed somewhere down the road. Okay, now best news of the well, best news of 2020. Right. Now, this is the Pfizer vaccine is going to arrive and going to start vaccinating people in December. 100 million units due. But balanced against that, the government don't want us to, well, we're in lockdown. The government don't want us to be rejoicing in the streets. So they're balancing this by saying, yes, vaccine's going to be here, but you've got to behave yourselves. And that's sort of losing the power of this particular message. I think that the fact there is a vaccine, which is 90% effective, is the best fantastic news we've had this year.
Yeah. But, you know, I was listening to an advert in my vehicle yesterday. I'm driving along and it says, have you had COVID-19? Are you willing to give a sample of your blood to help others with your antibodies? And I was screaming at the radio, and I tried to get on talk radio yesterday with it. I said, oh, it would be great if they would let us have an antibody test so I can tell you. Do you know I could not get an antibody test in Scotland? Yet they've got adverts saying, give us some blood, Pete, to help other people. Give me the antibody test. Come on.
Clear sounds from both of us. Well, I think we've been here before, deja vu, because your immunity decreases as time goes on. So there is no real effective test that can tell you whether you've had it or not. John?
There must be traces somehow, even if it was a little bit.
Don't know. I mean, both of my children who are in the care game, one's nursing staff and the other one's a medicines technician in a home. They're tested every fortnight, and they both moan about being sore after being tested. So I don't want to be tested.
Do they take blood? Is it blood sample?
Which they have a thing stuck up their nose.
Yeah. No, John, I went out and bought 5,000 more spectacles to get this right. No, the blue ones ahead.
They just reflect too much. That's the only problem, because you can see the blue, the layer that stops the blue reflecting.
Yeah.
I did try to buy some after you posted the link, but they don't have my 3.0 diopter or whatever it's called.
They're actually looking at the computer. I mean, this is just 2.5s, but you know, something, I got some good spectacles from the internet, and what I didn't realise, they were actually 5 at a time when I bought them. You got 5 for 19 quid, and I got a pair. But yeah, I'll show you them. This is my other pair.
Just a minute. That's.
And these are bifocals. What do you think?
You still got the reflection, Peter.
Oh, I know. How's that?
You've got a lovely reflection. I can almost read your screen.
That's better.
There is a glare, Peter, and I don't think it's the way around it.
Right, doesn't matter.
Okay. Right, say good morning to Claire, and Claire is confirming that antibody tests aren't as effective or as widely available, Peter. And we say good morning to Corinda. Morning, Corinda. Oh, it's not Christmas yet, Corinda. Christmas is a while off yet. And
Christmas.
Oh, say good morning to Andy. Van Tam was saying if you had COVID, you may be immune for 3 months after. Okay.
You know, that's my friend Andy Brown.
Right. They're supporting you, which is, yeah.
Well, what I put out a link for people to come on to, and I forgot. If you're watching the folks, is that lost there? Hey, Andy.
Right.
Is it your friend?
It's Andy Brown. You've been on before.
Andy, we feel sorry for you. Okay.
So you know that's Peter Stewart. What you might not know is that the gentleman next to him is Mr. John Upton, and I'm Stephen Healy. And if you are new to the broadcast, then thank you for coming to watch us. This is Blabbing for Britain, episode 252. We've been doing this for 5 years, still enjoy doing it, and this is our weekly, well, in Peter's case, weekly rant. But it's just an enjoyable session. We can talk about anything and everything. We've got topics from the news. If you want to ask us a question about anything, we'll give our opinions on it. So just enjoy the broadcast as we do.
I want to know what's happening in Aberdeen just now.
Yes, please.
Right, so I'll go to my screen share. Right, screen share, Chrome tab. Getting kind of used to it now. So what I'll do is do this one first.
Okay.
So this is, just let me know when you've got it up.
Okay, it's on screen, Peter.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, the Press and Journal is the morning paper for Aberdeen. It's made during the night. And I've got to tell you, I scrolled through the pages of this paper today, this morning, to find a good news story. Unfortunately, I didn't get one. Again, papers, if you're listening, make sure you give some goodness. Right, so I don't know about you, but have you see the picture?
Yeah.
I have seen quite a lot of this in my city now. You know?
I've got about 60 plus photos of those gloves and other things, PPE, abandoned in supermarket car park.
So, and I've seen them lying about as well. I think I may have dropped one by accident because I put them in my pocket sometimes. So the Hutton Institute's quite a famous institute up here, responds to the ecological impact of COVID-19 by developing environmentally friendly PPE. I think it'll dissolve and things like that. And they're getting propelling the industry to revenues of more than 8 billion in the UK alone for the price of PPE. So it's a lot of money. And so that is just a wee bit of news from the Aberdeen Evening Press and Journal. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop this, okay?
Have you seen the picture of the duck?
What duck?
The duck with the strings round his neck and the face mask hanging down in front of him.
Oh dear. No, I think I maybe
there's an appeal going round in the UK that you should cut the straps and put them in the bin.
Very good idea. Right. Well, let me know when this has went up, please. This is from Aberdeen Evening Express. Give me a shout when it's ready.
Well, I can see it, Pete.
Okay, so the picture here, this used to be a beautiful, beautiful piece of land in the city centre. It used to be used. You can walk down the streets. There was a toilet, the Victorian type toilet. There were arches, as you can see there. And you used to be able to play dominoes or chess. There was a famous chess set there. And we had a lovely park, and we had bands and everything come to it. But it became unused. Now, Sir Ian Wood in Aberdeen, who's a multi-millionaire, offered to do it up, etc., and there was big fights in the paper over it. So they refused it, his money to do it. So they're levelling it and they're doing things to it now. I can't really, so they fell behind in their project because of it and their summertime. And so it's caused a lot of problems in the city with people wanting it and not wanting it. And it was a lovely bit of green. I don't know if Andy can make any comment in it because he'll know, but it's a lot of money. And I'd be wondering. So see those little arches you see, if you look at the back of the picture, they were going to turn them into cafes and things, little shops. but I don't know what's happening there now. But because in the Evening Express, folks, I'm sad to say that I really can't find any good news. And that's the report from what's happening in Aberdeen today. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Now, we got some information from those that you possibly didn't intend us to know, but you've been searching for Renault Traffic vans by the look of things.
Oh, absolutely, and they won't leave me alone.
Yeah, and okay, catching up with the comments, and so the last comment we had was ho 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 from Corinda, and then Andy came back with Van Tam was saying, and then over to Corinda again. And Corinda is saying, Stephen, I see you yesterday with Marco and Harper? No, you didn't see me with Marco and Harper yesterday because we didn't broadcast yesterday because Marco had to go and do some work. So we couldn't bring on the broadcast because he was actually interviewing somebody else. So we're on today at 5 o'clock. And Andy's saying, well, he knows you well, Peter.
That's use. Can I just tell you about Andy? Andy and I actually met at Toastmasters, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we got on well. It's a big age difference. And then we run a Toastmasters club ourselves, and we got on well. And I didn't know that Andy had a passion for singing at a karaoke. So when I set up the karaoke, Andy's actually training to be a sound engineer. What better pal to have? And Andy has helped me a lot over the years. And he's a quality assurance engineer, and he's working at Tesco's just now because he got paid off. And he puts a lot of effort. And we've really kept a good bond. And it's just one of the things. And he knows what I'm like. He knows what I'm like. Andy's quite a placid type of person, just plods along, and he knows I'm a lot of fiery firework, you know. And we really got on great. And I've got two friends in Aberdeen. I'm going to whisper what I say here. My other friend called me yesterday. And I went, oh yeah, what will he be wanting? And he said, have you got a printer? I need some print. It's only takes.
Over to Corinda, and can you read that for me, John, please?
Did you guys hear about live streaming mobile robo-surgeons could widen access to keyhole surgery now? Whoever have surgery, they have, and technology robot now. I think they've been actually using robots for doing knees and things for quite some time. I don't know about the live streaming bit though. Does that mean that the robot will be in a different place from the surgeon? I suspect that's what he means.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, look, I've just seen look what Corinda's last post was.
I'm trying to be sequential.
All right, okay. Now,
Chris said that the duck was in the Belgian newspapers.
Yeah.
So you weren't seeing things, John?
Yeah. So, Corinda, this is for you. I don't know much. It's a lot of money, city centre. But let me tell you, Corinda, if you've joined Toastmasters, it's one of the best things that I ever joined. And it kind of changed my life. It made me speak with passion. It made me notice that. And so it's a really good thing to be joining. So well done in joining Toastmasters. And one of the things that I seen at Toastmasters, I've never forgotten. There's a guy up in Scotland, and he entered competitions like me. And there's a video on before, and he had a really, really bad stutter, really bad. And he went on the Maguire program, which helps people with stutters. And the same guy now is entering competitions for speaking with no stutter. And I think that is absolutely marvellous.
Okay, let's go to the agenda, see if we've got anything that's not Okay. Right. So that's that. Okay. Hong Kong, anybody?
Yeah, a lot of them's resigned.
Yeah. It basic. I mean, it's two systems, which we know from experience, are difficult to actually. And the Chinese are actually putting the foot down and saying, "You're part of China. You can't have the freedoms that you used to have when you were British."
Nope.
That would be a fair synopsis. Yeah.
No, I think maybe they've reneged as well, because they said to keep it a two-tier, I don't know, two systems as such. But there you go.
Yeah. Right. Talking of two systems, despite our Prime Minister saying not, post-Brexit talks are still continuing. Next week. We're getting close.
What's happening with Brexit? Nobody wants to be this. Nobody wants to be the one that is seen to be giving in. That's the problem. Everybody's headstrong now. That's the problem, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Time's running out though, because we're in November now. We leave on the 1st of January. Well, we've left, but we really leave on the 1st of January next year.
Okay, can I put out a call to Bob Geldof? Get your singer pals together. Aid for Britain. Get your Red Cross parcels ready to send us. We're going to have no food, no medicine. Yeah? Andy, are you still here? He'll remember this. The tears from the salt of our eye, Andy. That's an in-joke. You'll know what that is.
Throat.
Yeah.
Corinna says, can we get out of Brexit? We've already exited, so we'd have to go back, not get out.
We could go back at the drop of a hat.
British
One
people
bill through Parliament, we'll be back. It's as easy.
Hey, I know what. Do you know what the big news is today?
Not until you tell us, Peter.
Right. The cenotaph on Sunday. Or yesterday, sorry. Where two people from extinction were allowed to go into the cenotaph, walk over the poppies, wreaths that were lying there, and put up a big, their one. Police stood and watched them. And there's a big backlash with it today. Even the police commissioner has been asked, why do you have a two-tier systems? There's certain groups the police stand back and watch, and there's certain groups that say the wrong thing and they're arrested. And it really has came to the fore today. Personally, I've had enough of people doing what they want and getting away with it. I don't know what your views are on it. And that's why I've joined the Free Speech Union as well.
Right, as I say, I went over to BitChute and I ain't going over there again. Wild horses couldn't drag me. And
it's funny that I cannot see that story on the BBC either, Pete.
Oh, I wonder why. Because they're too left. They're leaning over so much to the left that they can't get up to see it. Okay. What do you think of the BBC for the future? Do you think they'll be here in the next couple of years?
Who? What? Say that again, Pete.
The British Broadcasting Corporation. Do you think they're going to be here in a couple of years?
No. I think it'll be a private organisation soon. And I don't think it'll be a bad thing.
Yeah. I think all terrestrial channels are in trouble. BBC, ITV, Channel 4.
Yeah.
They're under threat from the internet. The internet is providing a more effective news service than anywhere else.
At first it was newspapers, now it's TV channels.
Have you heard of Andrew Neil's new one that's coming out?
Yes. Yawn, yawn, yawn.
GBTV, I think it's called.
Yep.
The Opposing View. I wonder how many people will leave to join it. That'll be interesting.
Don't know. Bring back Jeremy Paxman. That's what we need. Okay. Right. I suppose at this time, it's time to sort of slow things down a little bit and go over to, I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to head over to the southwest, to Devisers, and we're going to share the local Devisers newspaper with a national story, which I'm going to bring up on screen. And before I go full screen, which supermarket at the moment is the best value? You can probably read that at the moment. Okay, this is
by the look of things.
This is the October list of supermarkets and their best, which are the best value. Aldi is top, and Lidl, so two German companies, followed by Asda, Morrison's, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Ocado, and Waitrose.
Yeah,
So,
of late though, I've been having a quality issue with some of the things I've bought from Aldi. I'm becoming more and more of a Lidl customer. Or Lidl, as they pronounce it, I think.
Just such a disparity. Aldi £27.13, Waitrose £44.13. And this is this is crazy, isn't it? You see in black and white there that the people who shop at Waitrose are paying £17 more than need to every week. We go with Morrison's and Aldi. John?
Well, as I said, I'm mainly an Aldi, Lidl, and then if I go anywhere else, it's probably Morrison's and occasionally Tesco's. Funny enough, this week I've actually been into Sainsbury's for the first time in a really long time. But that was only because Celia's iron blew up and I needed an iron. And Sainsbury's is still selling irons, whereas other places aren't.
Depends what's essential, doesn't it?
Well, at Tesco's, what they've done is things that like household clothes, and radios and TVs are all on a mezzanine floor. And in my Tesco's, the mezzanine floor is blocked off. It's got cases of beer in front of the escalators.
So I've got with shopping
up there, you have to ask, and then someone has to go and get it for you.
One of the problems I've got, I can't get all the stuff that I need because there's 3 different shops I get them from. It costs a coffee or pods. I can only get them at Tesco, and I might have to go to some Morrison's to get their cream because it's a better cream. And Morrison's spare ribs, absolutely lovely. So unfortunately, I've got about 3 or 4 different shops. To a nice discovery needed. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, so that's the problem I've got. Can't get everything in the same place.
Right. So that's our scroll through the local newspaper in Devisers in Wiltshire, which are now time. And again, Peter, it is difficult to find anything which is good news.
Have you found? Did you take a while to find good news in there today?
Oh yeah, there isn't any, hardly. That's why I went for the supermarket comparison.
It's Good News Week. What was that? An advert?
No, it's a song, Peter. And the second line of it was someone's dropped a bomb somewhere. So
all right,
it wasn't a happy song. And if somebody can tell us who sang the song, then we would be eternally grateful. And out to Crinder Staines, right?
He's talking about his keyhole surgery machine.
Yeah, okay. And Hong Kong is so much of a problem. Right, okay. And out to Chris. And Chris is saying Carrefour. Well, we can't go to Carrefour, Chris, because
As the all in the UK.
Right, over to Claire, and Claire is saying, do you recycle your pods, Peter?
Oh, if you tell me where I can
That's
do
a
it.
very intimate question, isn't it?
Because the thing is, I used to send away my pods were one place that I used to use. But Claire, if you can tell me where to put my Costa pods, I will gladly do it. Because my partner's a bit of a recycle person, you know. So if you can do that, we'll see what we can do. I do use a lot of pods, actually.
Right. Last week I discovered a piece of software which is called OBS Ninja, and basically it allows you to go live with more than one person on screen using OBS. OBS is free, OBS Ninja is free, and therefore I explored it, and I've done a short 4-part course about it. So if you want to go live, you don't want to pay anybody, and you want to go to Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or Periscope, then you can do so. It's just an amazing piece of software written by Steve Seguin, who is in Canada and is one of the team behind Stage 10, I discovered the other day. Stage 10 at one time, 3 or 4 years ago, were up there with Smile Time, etc.
I've never even heard of Stage 10.
Yeah, it's another thing that on the course of things we've had a quick look at, isn't it, Stephen?
It is, yeah. It's basically their market is not us. Their market is larger companies, production companies, who are doing outside broadcasts, all that sort of thing. That's where they've gone for, rather than consumer. But in his spare time, during lockdown in March, he designed this system, and I've got to say I'm stunned by it. It simply works. So, Corinda, you'll be glad to hear that Peter and I will be live in a sponsored broadcast by Aberkil next week using
the Talkinator platform sponsored by Aberkil, the pest controller that loves to talk.
And never shuts up. I didn't really say that.
Did you see John's face there?
Right, we'll be live, as Peter said, on his page, and we'll be using OBS Ninja. Well, we have to, because that's what we're talking about. So we'll be telling you how you can actually go live for free. Right, okay. Any news from Solihull, John?
Nah, nothing. Nothing really. I mean, the thing hitting the headlines around here is more redundancies at Land Rover. So that's the same everywhere, I think. We don't really have a local newspaper anymore. It all got merged into the Birmingham Evening Mail, and that's just depressing reading.
Right. Okay. The only thing we've got, there's not much news that is worth pursuing really at the moment.
So Mr. Kelly says, not bragging, we've been sunny and over 20 Celsius for the last 7 days. Did you not have a bit of snow before that as well, though? It's actually sunny here today. I don't know what the temperature is, but it is sunny.
Right. And Claire, well done, Claire. The song that you started, Peter, was It's Good News Week.
It's Good News Week.
Exactly.
And it did front a TV programme, but I can't think what it was called. Perhaps it was called Good News Week.
By Jonathan King. Over to Kelly. And you read this out, actually, haven't you, John? Okay. All good. And back over to Corinda. And he's talking about OBS Ninja. Nope. This is just basically, we could, but we're starting off simple, 2 people on screen, and we'll go from there. But this is just getting you live on Facebook or YouTube. And it's not, I was asked, is this a replacement for Be.Live? No. Is it a replacement for StreamYard? No. Is it free? Yes. I think that's the mantra. And Kelly's saying last year we had a foot of snow. Wow, that's extreme.
So what we're going to do, we're going to have a little like advert made. I'm going to actually sponsor it and put it out on Facebook locally to get local people. And if you see it, why don't you share it for us to bring people in? We're going to do it at a time. So it's going to be in advance so we can do some promotion of it, you know, and the more it can come in, the better. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. We'll show you how to go live for free. And sorry, the other thing, as well as being free, the other thing that is most important is the quality. It is extremely high quality. This is not some cheap knockoff. This is the real McCoy, and the video quality and sound quality are absolutely brilliant. And
it's regarded as open source, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Over to Kelly. An inch of snow a week ago. From an inch of snow to 20 degrees, and Corinda's saying thank you, Stephen. Okay.
Oh dear.
Right, so nothing's happening in Solihull. I don't know.
We did have a little bit of excitement yesterday. I live by Alton railway station, and either side of the railway station there's a road with a traditional iron, you know, bridge, and somebody tried to go under the far one yesterday in a tall lorry, and his lorry isn't as tall as it was now. So that was a bit of excitement. He says his lorry is not as tall as the sign, but that
reminds me of
a very long time.
When I was a bus driver, we've got a River Dee, and that goes along the riverside. And I was a spare driver, so I was bringing lots of buses down to the city centre to get the guys' buses down. I came along the river, and I'm travelling along, and I just went, and then I suddenly realised the bridge. But I was in a double decker. I had to do a 3-point turn.
At least you didn't try to go under it.
And then when I worked in London, I used to drive what they call the crash cushion, and you had to watch for bridges. No, you put up the sign, and then the bumper at the back come out. But one of my friends, he forgot to take it down, and he hit a bridge in London, and he was really ripped to bits. And I phoned him up and I said, because it was an arrow at the back, and I'd phoned him on his mobile. I says, we've just had a call into the depot. He says, what for? I says, they're wanting you to take part in a film. And he says, what do you mean? I says, it's called A Bridge Too Low.
Brian.
I used to do a little song for him as well.
Oh dear.
There's one thing about being a soldier, you never lose your sense of humour, especially when it's mocking other people.
Okay, now we're in lockdown. We've got 3 weekends to go, and then hopefully on December 2nd we'll come out of lockdown. But do you think we'll come out of lockdown December 2nd? What do you think the port?
I don't think he dare extend it for political reasons, yet alone practical reasons.
What level are you guys in?
We're all on the same.
Well, we're all full lockdown.
Stay home.
Oh, I'm on level 2. Do you know? See, that's the thing. Scotland's got 5 levels.
Yep. But nobody's on level 5, are they?
No, I'm on level 2.
You're not good enough players to reach level 5.
Yeah, level 2, and it's I don't know.
You have about 1/10 of Birmingham's rate per 1,000. 10,000, 100,000, whatever it is. 100,000.
It made me get a lump in my throat this morning. Well, I sit and watch GMTV in the morning, and Andy Peters, you know him, he come on, and he'd phoned a woman that had won £3,000. And £3,000, it's a lot of money, but the relief in her voice says, I can pay my rent now. And this is what I find hard. COVID has been good for me. And there are people struggling. And I don't know what to do to help people. I don't know. So what I'm doing today is I'm going down and I'm buying vouchers, about £5 a time, and I put them in an advert for people to come up to me, and I'm going to give them a voucher for a coffee.
Good.
One of my customers.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
How do you feel about it? Are you comfortable in seeing other people struggling? Not comfortable about it, but you're comfortable, but other people.
No, we try as a society to help everybody, and we're all doing our own bit in our own way. But no matter which way we move, there are going to be people who have problems.
Yeah.
You can't have a society where everybody is happy and healthy.
Another guy said today, he says, I had £80,000 in my bank. In his bank. He said, a great job. He says, I've lost my job over the few months. He says, I'm now in £12,000 in credit card debt. Unbelievable. And but I spoke to one person. He said, I've been given a maximum on my credit card, and the bank said, use it if you need, but as long as you pay the minimum, that's all we need from you. I tell you, there must be some debt out there. What do you think, John?
Well, I don't know. For the last 2-3 years, I've been doing everything I can to get rid of all of my debt. And now I'm thinking about buying another car. Back in debt, but...
Well, it's funny because I've been looking at it. I've been given all this money from the bank, which I may even top up. And I said, so I'll tell you what, I spoke to a kind of guru guy as well. And I've got to have faith in the business for the future. So that's why I'm buying a new vehicle, and I'll probably buy 3 and go forward instead of thinking negative. Because I'm paying for vehicles as it is, so I'm just going to buy new vehicles. You know?
Are you going to buy them or contract hire them?
I'm going to purchase them because I'm 60 and I've taken them over 5 years. After 5 years, they'll be mine. And who knows what happens after then? You've got to think ahead, and if things happen, you just have to sell them. You know, and that's what I'm doing. I'm buying them because the reason I'm buying them is it lowers my costs per month dramatically. Saves me thousands over the year.
But you do have a 5-year commitment.
Yeah, I know I've got them for 5 years. That's when I won't even be retiring at 65. I'll be 67. And I'll probably go on further than that. Because by then I'll be 75 for your pension.
And slight change of topic. We're going back to the situation for everybody, which is COVID. And Chris is saying in Belgium, we must stay at home when it is possible, but from next week on, I have to work at school, I'm afraid. So back into school. I mean, our schools are still open. And teachers are just, teachers internationally, carrying on whilst there's an epidemic raging around them, are just awesome.
So correct me, are you guys only allowed to go to certain shops and things now? You guys?
Certain shops can't open around here.
Yep, it's only food shops. Well, food shops and Poundland can open.
Right.
Well, Poundland sells food anyway, so they'd get away with it. So
yeah,
there's a shop down in Plymouth and they've opened because of a loophole. The legislation saying which shops could and couldn't open was drawn up very quickly, and they found a little loophole, and they've opened up and they're selling beer. And people are not too happy about it.
Beer was added at the last minute, though. Literally the day before lockdown, beer was added as a thing you could sell.
An essential.
Yeah.
For mental purposes.
Yeah, well, people that are registered alcoholics and things, they'll be climbing up the wall just now. You know?
All the pubs are closed, restaurants are closed. I think that the thing, though, is that people are having, and this is in Sarnia, Ontario, from Kelly, people are having anti-mask protests. Probably anti-vaxxers only have to wear them in stores and places you can't social distance.
It's exactly the same here, and people ignore the fact that it's compulsory to wear a mask in a shop.
Yeah, and nobody's challenging, are they? I mean, you don't get. I'd always wear a mask, but if you don't wear a mask, you're not being challenged.
How does the shop owner challenge them? Because they have no authority to enforce it. Well, I keep saying you do. You say the door's over there. If you don't wear a mask, use it.
But then people are saying, you can't do that to me. You're discriminating against me because I'm asthmatic. Things like that. I've seen that on the internet as well. So no, I'm the shopkeeper. Here's the deal. There's a shop over there. Just go and give them your custom. Bye. Have you seen that?
But in these times, turning away business is not. It's counterintuitive, isn't it?
It's counterintuitive, but why should you put all the other shoppers at risk?
2 weeks ago, I had a couple
of situation.
There was a couple with no mask in front of me, touching everything, going, oh, looking at that, no mask in it. And I thought, I'm not even going to bother saying anything because we'll end up a fight. You know?
Okay.
All I'm saying, I've tried my best to conform.
All we can do is try our best. Change of pace. John, what's happening at 4 o'clock today?
He's not coming.
He hasn't got a clue. We've been off air for so long. It's so long since we last did one.
A fortnight. Yeah. We'll be on at 4 o'clock, inspired by a video.
Do turn up, watchers, if you're interested in creating your own business video with a very low cost, high quality system, then Inspired by Video is the show for you. John does his weekly trainings, and you can find out how to operate in video effectively. 4 o'clock today on the same page as this broadcast. Do join us.
Well done. What number are you up to now in video?
John, this is episode 53.
54, something like that.
Wow, I remember number 1.
So do we. We remember episode 50. That was a milestone. We now go live in the InVideo group, which is good. So if you want to find us, we'll be in the InVideo group and over on YouTube as well. Okay. That's 4 o'clock today.
Well done, guys.
Okay. So, are you? I know we're way ahead, but are you actually planning to do anything at Christmas?
A lot's going to depend on whether we can see family or not, isn't it?
Because it has been a carrot and stick approach, hasn't it? 4 weeks lockdown. Then the students allowed to go home from this. Got to travel home between the 3rd and 9th of December, and then we've got 2 weeks before Christmas. Will we be able to see family? That's the question.
Well, traditionally, I was usually working, singing, and I don't like Christmas. I'd rather work, and I don't like New Year. I'd rather work. Mr. Miserable.
But you,
there's no rule that says you have to like Christmas and New Year. I mean, we all have the right to like and not like things as we see fit. But Christmas is a time for family and a time for getting together. So I do hope that the government, well, I don't know. I hope that the medical advice that the government receives allows them to tell us that we can spend Christmas in family units of up to a certain size. That's my wish. Okay, all gone quiet.
Yeah.
Right, over the comments, we've got some comments coming in. Okay, Chris again. Chris likes Inspired by video. There we are, John. Thank you, Chris. Right. Yes, you did, Nick. You've missed us again. We'll forgive you if you watch the whole episode from the beginning. No, it's okay. Welcome, Nick.
Where does Nick come from again?
Nick comes from England. He and I have a broadcast on Mondays at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And it's Be.Live on YouTube, where we play videos by Be.Livers that are actually broadcast to YouTube. And we're quite enjoying actually showing 4 broadcasts each week and looking at how other people actually put their live shows together, because we always learn something by doing it. And we've started being proactive and promoting the broadcast that we do show and actually talking to the people involved. And it's sort of building. Next week is week 7. So we're getting to the stage now, we're getting into a rhythm, and it's all working. As one of our friends would say, but he would be sarcastic, it's all working rather well. I actually mean it.
Can I actually mention a name to you guys for your YouTube? A guy called Simon Wilson. And it's guys that are traveling all over the world right now, and they make their money from YouTube traveling. And one of them was from, I think it was Southampton. He's called the Bald Bankrupt. The guy went bankrupt, and he speaks Russian fluid and everything. And they're going to different countries. And I really would recommend that name to you, Simon Wilson. I hear a phone.
it's
Simon Wilson, and there's nothing bad in it. It's actually great to watch.
Somebody's persistent, John.
yeah. There's nothing I can do about it.
Just a second. Right. Put your hand up when it stops.
That's it.
Right.
It's gone again.
I thought you said it stopped.
It did,
Okay.
and then it started ringing again. It's gone now. Different.
Interrupted by phones. Okay, back to the comments and right. Okay. And over to Claire. And Claire is saying Christmas with family I enjoy, all commercialization and OTT I dislike. Okay. Well, hopefully we'll get a Christmas, Claire.
I'll be back in a few seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll wait for John to return. He literally only has a few seconds because we're getting towards the top of the hour. And over to Nick. Nick is admitting that he lives in Farnborough, Hampshire, and he's going to watch the replay at double the speed. Thank you. Very kind of you. Over to Chris. And Chris is saying, I have a Christmas and New Year at home with my cats and the best of food. I have no family nearby.
16 years ago, I worked in traffic management, and we were working in Farnborough with my friend.
I need to go, folks. I'll see you soon.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, bye, John.
9 parcels being delivered. Bye.
Oh.
Bye.
So, yeah, Farnborough, I didn't know the area, and I know the hospital shared with the military. There's a lot of military staff working in the hospital.
Yep.
But when I worked in it, my mate got the tip of his finger cut off from worked on the roads, and I had to drive him to hospital under his direction. So that's why I know Farnborough. Yeah,
Oh,
I like
to
my
Nick,
bookcase.
did Don just jump out of his balloon? Anything
Yeah.
is possible. Anything's possible. If you live in Solihull, then you've got your own personal balloon. You know, a lot of hot air in Solihull. No, I didn't say that. Right. Okay. Well, Peter, would you like to close the show?
Yes. So,
Okay then.
thank you very much for coming in. You will get all different views on this show. It's usually a 3-to-1 show. Okay. But I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for your comments. And so it was goodbye from John, who's had to go. Goodbye from Stephen. And goodbye from me in Aberdeen. And whatever you do, stay safe. Look out for strangers who will be less fortunate than you.